clock. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Oh, that's it. Okay. Thank you for coming. We are being broadcast live over YouTube and Van Buren's Channel 12. Clerk Wright, could you call the roll?
Yes. Trustee Kelly, is he excused?
Actually, he is excused.
Okay.
He's at his son's.
Okay. Trustee Boyne? Trustee Martin? Here. Trustee Frazier? Here. Trustee Bud?
Here.
The clerk is present, supervisor is present, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to have an executive summary. Today, we're going to be talking about the consent agenda, which will include our day-to-day work study minutes, closed session meeting minutes, board meeting minutes, prepaid lists, voucher lists, approval and an updated contract with the Manick and Smith Group for Parks and Recreation's master plan update, approval of a budget amendment in the amount of $1.4 million. So just so that people understand, we approved this contract for the engineering and of the new Lakeside Park. And when we approved it, we said we're going to take it out of one account, and which had more than enough money and was designed for that purpose. We're still taking it out of that account, but we have to put it into a line item that we did not create in that resolution. So what this is really doing is creating a line item just to put the money in that we already approved so that we can better track the money. So it's not like we're moving a $1.4 million contract without having a discussion about it. We've already approved the contract. We're just creating the line item. We're also going to be doing approval of the fireworks display permit application for a fireworks display at the Belleville Yacht Club on Saturday, July 4th, with a rain date on July 5th. There will be a presentation today to discuss Home Serve program. It's a water and sewer coverage for Van Buren Townships in the event of an emergency. New business today will include discussion on a special land use application for DeBuck's Family Farm for a pre-existing agritourism use located on Martz Road. We'll also have discussion on a sub-recipient agreement for a community development block grant award for senior services salary in the amount of $20,000. That's a grant to help pay for the senior services director. We'll also have a discussion on awarding a 2-year heating, ventilating, and air conditioning contract with W.J. O'Neill in the amount of $42,000. And discussion on purchasing a 2027 Freightliner M2 tandem axle dump truck in the amount of $127,000. Our old one rusted right through. That's about it. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Through the chair, make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
I have a motion by Treasurer Bud, supported by Clerk Wright. Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? This motion passes. Next item, can I get a motion to adopt for adoption of the consent agenda?
Through the chair, I move that we accept the adopt agenda, which consists of the following: work study meeting minutes of May 19th, closed session meeting minutes of May 19th, board meeting minutes of May 19th, the prepaid lists of May 20th and May 27th, the voucher list of June 2nd, all of 2026, approve the updated contract with the Manick and Smith Group Incorporated for the 2027-2031 Parks and Recreation Master Plan update, approve the budget amendment in the amount of $1,449,600 to 401-000-820-000 for the board-approved Fishback design, engineering, and admin contracts for Lakeside Park, and approve of the fireworks display permit application for a fireworks display at Belleville Yacht Club on Saturday, July 24th of 2026, with a rain date of Sunday, July 5th, 2026.
Can I get support?
Support.
Support by Clerk Wright. I've got a motion by trustee Boynton, supported by Clerk Wright. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? This motion passes. Public hearing, we have none. We're into correspondence, announcements, and presentations. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to make a announcement or announcement? No? Anybody from the board? I do have one, but I have an announcement, and this is a great announcement, and it's something that almost everybody here already knows, but it's got to be said out loud. Judge Kevin Cox has issued a permanent injunction against radioactive waste coming to Van Buren Township from the Manhattan projects across the country. This was a battle that I'm going to tell you, if you put 10 lawyers in a room and ask them if we could win, they all 10 would say no. But thanks to people like Janine Rippey, who else was involved? Chris Donnelly, Jessica Peterson. They pushed us, and they actually helped us to form a coalition of governments. We had help from the city of Wayne, Ypsilanti, Canton, Romulus, and Van Buren together funded it, with Van Buren funding most of it. But it was huge help. We probably wouldn't have made it without the help of the other ones. It was a very expensive lawsuit. We were up against Republic, we were up against the US EPA, we were up against the United States Army Corps of Engineers, and we were up against Eagle. If you didn't think that we were up against all of them, you should see the people that testified on their behalf. They were all from those groups. Testifying for us was myself and Ken Voigt, and we were named a lot in Judge Cox's response, and they called our testimony compelling in the fact that since 2018, we have in writing and verbally stated that we do not want this. We never wanted it. We've always thought that it was out of line. Judge Cox did agree with us. Abdul Al-Sayed came in from the county. The county actually got a lawsuit in, and the county, I'm going to tell you, I got more than one phone call from the county saying, this is getting way too expensive. Our lawyers tell us we can't win. But they hung in there with us till the end, too. We pulled off what was a minor miracle. You don't take on the US EPA, the state of Michigan, and Republic Waste and win. They were bringing their lawyers in little minibuses from Chicago. There were so many of them. They are going to appeal, and we will be there for the appeal. I do want to thank, though, Canton and Romulus for their financial and moral and all the rest of the support. Janine Rippey for her focus and incredible research. And she had things that the lawyers couldn't believe that she could get, and she got that information on her own. I don't know how she got it because we couldn't even find it. It's overwhelming that this pariah of a horrible thing that was on our community got lifted off, and I'm just so thankful for this group of people in this community that came together, and our neighbors, and even Ypsilanti sent us a check for, I think, $5,000. City of Wayne sent us $1,000. I mean, they couldn't send much, but they actually sent money, and it was very, very humbling to have so much support on something. So I want to make sure everybody realizes that this is a major, major victory. We're very happy, and we hope that we win in the appeal, and we believe we will. Judge Cox gave us a very good verdict, very well thought out. But I had to bring that up and say thank you. So, you want to make mention on that? Because that's huge. All right.
I told you we'd win.
You told me we did. I only had like 10 lawyers saying no, but okay. Yeah, we I guess if there's any other good news, it's kind of not good. It's just interesting news. Um, while I was out of town, they redid my office, which is kind of cool, and they put little things that we did around here, and it's amazing how much stuff we've done over the last 10 years as this board. I don't think this board realized it because I didn't realize it. They added up how many grants we've gotten over the last 10 years, since 2017. We're currently over 52 million in grants since 2017. I don't think any municipality can make that claim outside of Detroit. So it's pretty amazing what we've done. And we haven't stopped. We were working pretty hard last week, and we believe we've got another 24 million coming by the end of the summer that'll be handed out over a 10-year period, but it still counts. It'll be for infrastructure for roads. So we're excited about that. All right. Does anybody else have anything they want to say? No? All right. Today we have a presentation by Home Serve Program. Kevin Lawrence, Director.
Good evening, Board. I have Mike Chambers here with Home Serve to do a presentation with potential savings for homeowners of water and sewer emergencies.
Thank you very much, Kevin, and really appreciate the board allowing me a few minutes here tonight to tell you a little bit about our program and how it can benefit your residents here in the township. As Kevin said, my name is Mike Chambers. I'm with HomeServe, and we administer the Service Line program. And through this program, we work with cities and municipalities all across the country to make our Service Line warranty products available for your residents. I'd like to just give you a little overview of the program and then answer any questions for you. A little bit of a background. We are a strategic partner with the International City Managers Association, and we currently work with about 1,300 communities across the country, including 40 here in the state of Michigan. The closest one to Van Buren is the city of Inkster. They've been participating for a couple years now. But the reason these cities have gotten involved with this program is everybody understands that infrastructure is getting older and older, especially when it comes to water and sewer lines. And one of the big issues is while the township's doing their part, to maintain those main water and sewer lines in the street, you have these miles and miles of lines that connect to that system that a lot of times they don't get any attention until there's an issue. And that's the residents' lateral water and sewer service lines. And pretty much everywhere we go, we hear the same story. Resident will have a frozen water line that breaks, or their sewer line collapses, or a lot of times just gets clogged with tree roots. First thing they do is call the township. You have to send someone out there, make sure the line in the street's working properly. And typically it is because you're doing the maintenance and the upkeep on it. And that's when it puts you in the bad situation to where you're the bearer of bad news to your residents. Mr. and Mrs. Resident, we found the issue. It's your service line that's causing these problems. And most residents don't even realize they're responsible for these buried lines in their yard until you're there telling them that. And then even the residents that do realize they're responsible, they don't have the $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 it can cost to dig these up and repair them. So that's where our program comes in. First off, it's an educational program. We do a free public awareness campaign to all the homeowners here in the community, just letting them know these lines are their responsibility, give them some tips on what they can do to keep things working properly, don't put grease on your trains, that sort of thing, and also allow them the opportunity to purchase a warranty that would cover these lines should something happen to it. Now, the nice part for the township, it's a fully turnkey program. We handle all the marketing, all the billing, all the customer service, all the claims. There's no cost or anything for the township to participate in the program. And then we do share a portion of all the revenue that's generated from the program back with the township. Now, the nice part for your residents is if the township does decide to participate in this program, it's nothing that's forced on them. It doesn't get added to their water bill or anything like that. It's simply a program that's available that should they want to cover their lines, then they have the opportunity to do that. So we always keep everything optional for them. We'll make 3 products available for all of the residents to pick and choose from. The first is our external water line coverage. That's going to cover their whole water line from where it enters the home all the way up to the township's connection, whether that's the curb stop or the main. That'll cover leaking lines, broken lines, slow running lines, loss of pressure, frozen lines. If you have any lead lines left in the system, that's covered under the program as well. There's no deductible for your residents. There's also no service fees, and we don't do any pre-inspection, so everybody in the community is eligible to enroll. The second product that we offer is the external sewer line coverage, and that's probably actually our most popular product here in the state of Michigan. That'll cover their whole sewer line from where it enters the home all the way to where it connects to the main, and that'll cover everything from a simple clean out, something gets flushed down there, or like I said earlier, a lot of times it's tree roots, they don't filtrate that, all the way up to fully replacing that line, even repairing any kind of concrete. So if the issues at the tap and the street needs to be disturbed, that's covered for your residents as well. Once again, there's no deductible or any service fees on that as well. And then the final product is the in-home plumbing and drainage, and that just kind of completes the coverage. That'll cover all the water and sewer lines inside the home, as well as faucets, toilet backups, sink backups, basically any issue that would occur in the walls of the house. Now, when the resident does have an issue, they don't need to call the township. They make one call to us. We have a 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week US-based call center, always answers with a live person. They'll let our representative know what's going on. They'll file the claim, and then we dispatch the job to a local licensed plumber. That's another big benefit of the program as well, as we only use contractors from here in the township to do the repairs. A couple reasons we do that. First off, we want to make sure we're keeping the dollars here locally in your community. But more importantly, we understand that when a resident has a backed up sewer line or their water lines burst, that's not something they can wait a day or 2 days, to have somebody out there. So by having the contractors here locally, we're able to get them out there as soon as possible and get the line back to normal for your residents. Now, as for the way we make the program available to your residents, I always get the question, are they going to get annoying phone calls or anything like that? We never do any kind of telemarketing through the program. All aspects of the program are done through a direct mail educational letter. Typically, we send that out twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall. And usually the life of the program for the mailings is 3 years. After 3 years, everybody that's kind of aware, wanted the program is signed up for it. Those that didn't, at least they were educated on, on their responsibilities and that sort of thing. But before we ever mail anything to your residents, we provide it here to the township. You have an opportunity to review it, make sure you're happy with all the language that's in it, because it will say, HomeServe and the township want to make you aware that this optional program is available. And then only once that approval is received will we set a mail date and then send that out to all your residents. So we've been doing this program for over 20 years. Just in the past 3 years alone, we fixed over 1.2 million lines across the country, saving residents almost $1 billion. We have several communities here in Michigan that we've done over $1 million in savings for them, Royal Oak, Ferndale, and a few others as well. It is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and then we do a customer satisfaction survey to every resident that files a claim, and gets out of 5 stars. Currently, we have a 4.8 rating across the country. And then finally, as I said earlier too, there is a portion of the revenue that comes back to the township. 10% of every dollar we collect, we provide back to you. Some of our partners will do some cool things where they'll set those funds aside, and maybe there's a low-income family needs help paying a water or sewer bill, or maybe they have a break and they don't have our coverage. There's dollars for that. Others are putting it into lead removal and that sort of thing. So it's really up to the township how you want to use those funds. But that's kind of the highlights of the program. I'd like to answer any questions for you.
Any questions?
Yeah, through the chair, I got a couple of questions.
Trustee?
What about sump pumps? Is that, and Mr. Lawrence, I'm gonna ask you this question. Your sump pump, where does that water drain to? That's not sewer, it goes to
Some
water,
pump line should go into the storm system.
into the storm system?
Yes, sir.
So if you have a storm crock on your property, that's not covered, this is not part of this program?
Correct, yeah, it's just for the sanitary sewer
Okay.
system. Yeah.
All right.
So it's like insurance, they pay for something.
Correct, yes.
So you said there was 3. There's one, the first program was for which line?
For the external water line coverage,
External water.
yeah, external
Okay.
water.
And then the second one was for
external sewer line coverage
external sewer. Now, that's the one I get the most
calls on.
calls on. What is that rate yearly or monthly? How do you ever do it?
So it's monthly. Residents can pay by the month as well, or they can pay by the year if they choose to, but it's $8.49 a month for the sewer line coverage, $5.99 a month for the water line coverage.
Okay.
And then no deductible on those, so, that's the only thing out of the resident's pocket. Everything else is paid for by us directly to the contractor. They don't need to get reimbursed or anything like that.
And you're in Royal Oak, which is a mature community, which is a tree community, so you're probably getting a lot of lines, okay.
For sure, yeah.
'Cause that's where I would see this would be good for our older subdivisions with their beautiful big trees.
I got one question. So you mentioned the water line, regular water line, so you said something about freezing. So let's say we have homeowners that we call snowbirds. They go to Florida for the summer,
Right.
and they have unbeknown freeze, the line freeze, and they come back to a catastrophe. So what exactly do you cover if the line freezes?
Yeah, so if it's just frozen and can be unthawed, we will do that. If it comes back and it's burst, then we'll repair the whole line and replace the whole line for them.
Yeah, I mean, that would be beneficial. I know several residents that have that done in my subdivision. You know, they left and came back. Their water line froze,
Gross. Mhm.
and they came back to a decimated, home pretty much. So yeah, okay,
Okay.
that could be beneficial.
All right. Yeah, we get those calls from a couple neighborhoods that have those issues. All right, well, it's good to hear from you. Anybody else?
How do you sign up?
Trustee Martin?
Yeah. So how do they sign up?
Process.
So yeah, so if the township wants to participate in the program, we just have a marketing agreement that just allows us to mail to your residents. We would, I'll get that over to you. I think I might have sent it to Kevin, but I'll resend it so that you guys can take a look at it. And then if you decide to approve it, then we'll start working through that marketing letter. We'll send that over to you so you can review it and, and approve that. And then we'll set a mail date and send it out to your residents. In the meantime, while all that's going on, in the background, we have a contractor recruitment team. They will actually come up here, interview the contractors, talk with them on the phone, get them enrolled in the program so that we're able to service the claims as soon as those letters go out. So.
And so the township gets a portion of the premium collected. That's what the township gets.
Correct.
10%
Yeah, 10%
of the
of every
premium.
dollar we collect.
What's the catch?
No catch. I mean, honestly, by working with the township, we're able to reach more of your residents, which allows us to have a bigger pool of funds to pay out the claims. And that really is the big benefit of the program is we don't want to ever, that's why we work with the township directly. We want to make sure we cover everything that your residents are responsible for. Because the one thing we don't want to have happen is, if we were to just mail to your residents and we miss something, like one of our partners is Saline, Michigan. They make their residents, or their residents are responsible there for their water line from the home all the way to the main, where typically it's a curb stop. So if we didn't work directly with them, we would never, know that, and we would have a coverage that wasn't covering everything your residents are responsible for. So
Yeah, and the 10% doesn't need to go into the general fund or the water and sewer. It could actually go to a program if you wanted to set it up for
Yeah.
indigent people that can't even afford the insurance, let alone that.
That's what I
And,
was thinking.
something goes south on them,
Water bills.
yeah.
So 10% go to some type of assistance program. Yeah.
All right.
So do you have I'm
sorry.
sorry. So the township will approve to allow you to do the marketing, but do you have a certain amount of participants that you need to have to provide this program for the residents, or?
no, sir, and that's one of the nice parts about being a program that's across the entire country. So if one person signs up, that's fine with us. What we typically see is the first time we mail, about 4 to 8% of your homeowners will enroll. After those 3 years, it's anywhere between 20 to 30%. I will tell you here in Michigan, especially as you said, Mr. Supervisor, in Royal Oak, where the trees and things like that, we'll get a lot of enrollments in there. Some of those communities have 40 or 50% of their homes enrolled in the program, just because what happens is one neighbor gets their line repaired through tree roots, and then it just spreads across the neighborhood, and everybody ends up signing up for it. So.
Right.
Any other questions? I have one more. Is it possible that we can direct Van Buren issues to Van Buren plumbers?
100%, yeah, that's exactly
Okay.
what we use, yeah. So we want to make sure we keep the dollars here locally in the community, so you guys can just provide a list of contractors to us, and we'll go through and vet them, make sure they're licensed, insured, and those are the ones that we'll use for all the repairs.
Okay, I guess then it sounds like the board wants me to ask my director to do due diligence on this whole thing and look into it and make sure it's all copacetic and check references and all that other good stuff, and we'll move to the next phase.
Perfect.
All right,
Appreciate it, thank you very much.
okay, thank you. All right, is there anybody else that wants to make any comments or presentation? No? We're now into public comment. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to make comment today? No? We'll move on to unfinished business, which we have none. We're into new business now. New business, the first one is the discussion and approval of a special land use for DeBuck's Family Farm for pre-existing agritourism located on Martins Road. Can I get a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Boynton,
move that we approve of a special land use application for DeBuck's Family Farm for a pre-existing agritourism use located at 50240, I'm sorry, 50240, yeah, March Road.
Supported by Treasurer Bud. Director Akers.
Thank you. Before you is a special land use application for a pre-existing agritourism use for DeBuck's Family Farm. This application was before the Township Planning Commission on May 13th, 2026. There was a public hearing held at that meeting where there were actually many members of the public who showed up and were in support of the application. The Planning Commission made the recommendation at that time that the Township Board grant approval of the special land use application. And that is what is before you this evening. So I'm available. That concludes my summary. I'm available if the board has any additional questions, and we also have representatives from DeBuck's Farm here as well, if you would like to ask questions of them.
Okay. What is the special land use?
So last year, Van Buren Township adopted zoning ordinance standards for agritourism style uses. Previously, we never had any zoning ordinance standards related to those types of uses. So over the past several years, we've been granting effectively temporary permits to DeBuck's Farm to operate for as long as they have operated. What this ordinance does is it gives us a permanent land use standard that we have in place, not just for DeBuck's Farm, but for any other agritourism businesses that wish to initiate.
Okay.
And what it does is it grants them a permanent approval from the Township Board.
Perfect. Okay. Any other questions? I know this board was very excited to have agritourism for the southern half of Van Buren Township. So, and it's exciting. DeBuck's defines that that thing. I'm excited that I'm hoping that more people do agritourism down there. It'd be really nice. It is this board has made its intentions very clear that it's going to be a rural community south of the lake and the more traditional suburban community north of the lake, and this is the keeping in that venue.
Yeah, I agree. The Bucks Farm has been around for a long time. I mean, I've been in the community for a while. My two boys, we've been there. I can't count that many times. So I think it's area like something like a business like that is needed in the community, not just for you guys, but for just to for the help with the kids to see things like that to continue to grow also. So I think it's a good use for it.
All right. I have a motion right now by Trustee Boynton. This is supported by Treasurer Bud. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? This motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, next item is discussion to consider approval of a sub-recipient agreement for a community development block grant award for senior services salary in the amount of $20,000.
Hi, good evening, Board. So before you is a sub-recipient agreement for the Community Development Block Grant.
One second, I have to call for a, yeah. Okay, Clerk Wright?
I make the motion to consider approval of sub-recipient agreement for the Community Development Block Grant Award for Senior Services salary in amount of $20,000.
Trustee Martin, I saw you looking at me. Okay, so. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, so this is a sub-recipient agreement for the CDBG grant that we have. We get typically yearly, it's $20,000. We get it and it reimburses the salary for our senior services.
Okay, so we do get it every year. So basically, we get awards from grant money, and sometimes we get awards for grant money that we haven't decided how we're going to spend it. And so one of the ways that we can always spend this type of an award is by paying $20,000 to the senior citizen director or leader. And so we just peeled the first $20,000 off for this. We have plans for the rest of it, but you know, it's just easy for us to do it this way. So we do it this way. Okay. All right. I have a motion by Clerk Wright. I have support by Trustee Martin. Is there any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item is discussion on and consider approval of awarding a 2-year preventative maintenance and on-call service HVAC contract to W.J. O'Neill. Thank you for turning that heater off.
I'll make this motion also, because I think it's a good,
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing to start with, because I see the bills coming through. And I think by going with a 2-year preventive maintenance plan is a great idea. I don't know who came up with it, but it's a great idea. So I make the motion, consider approval award for 2-year, 2026 through 2028 preventive maintenance and on-call service for HVAC contract to W.J. O'Neill, an amount of $42,870.
Okay. Support?
Support.
Support by Boynton. Okay. Take it away.
Thank you, Board. So the Department of Public Services recently, we went out to bid for a 2-year HVAC preventative maintenance and on-call services contract that includes an option to extend for 2 more years. The bid includes all township facilities for rooftop units, furnaces, split units, and boilers. We received 9 bids proposals for this work, and the bids ranged from $1,000 to $205,000 for 2 years for the maintenance work. So, yeah, we have determined that the township would like an award to WJ in the amount of $42,870. We have a representative from WJ here if you have questions.
So, go ahead, Trustee Martin.
Through the chair. So part of this maintenance agreement, I was looking through it, and does that include, I didn't see what filter changes, disinfecting the condensate pans and the coils. Is that part of the maintenance? Is that
Preventive
something we're gonna
maintenance,
do?
yes, and checking the belts and actuators, all that stuff, so yes.
Also, I noted that, and this hadn't anything to do with this, but we have a lot of units that are like over 30 years old.
Yeah, so we've replaced 7 so far. There's 3 more to be replaced, the 30-year-old ones.
Do we have a capital improvement?
These are the
Budget for
ones
that?
that are in the capital improvement that we've started working on
Okay.
replacing.
Thank you.
So we have a thing called City Works. Are they going to report to City Works?
Yes,
Okay. City Works for anybody that, everything we do here, everything here has a number attached to it. It all goes into City Works, every one of those heating systems, every meter in every house, every line, every sewer line. They have so if somebody goes out and works on that, it gets recorded that it was worked on and what was done to it and what the condition was and things like that. So we can identify things that are failing in the future, like when we went to this guy's house 3 times to fix the same line, there's something wrong with that line. So the problem is, though, there's a lot of reporting to it, and we have to get it into City Works, but it's so important to do it because you can develop preventative maintenance plans, and you can actually use, I hate to say the word AI, but you use AI plans then on your water and sewer systems that can actually predict where you're going to have problems. The thing of it is that we only have a 2 or 3 member maintenance group here.
right.
And you're doing a wonderful job. So, yeah, thank you. We need some help on that, and this way we can get these guys down to doing what they're supposed to do month to month to month to month, and then getting it all processed into the City Works program so that we can start using that incredible predictive software that we've spent so much money and time building out. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? All right, hearing none, I have a motion by Clerk Wright and supported by Trustee Boynton. Hearing no discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? This motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Funny story, my office is right next to Clerk Wright's office. I have the heating vent and the air conditioning vent. He has the control knob. Fix that.
18 years.
Hell. This discussion on and to consider, our next item is a discussion to consider approval of the purchase of a 2027 Freightliner M2 tandem axle dump truck in the amount of not to exceed of $127,228. Can I get a motion?
Through the chair.
Trustee Martin.
A motion to consider approval of the purchase of a 2027 Freightliner M2 tandem axle dump truck in the amount not to exceed $127,228.
Trustee Frazier? Oh, you got it? All right.
I make the motion.
Support. Got it. Okay. All right. Director Lawrence.
Yes, the purchase of this 2027 Freightliner dump truck will replace our 2003 GMC dump truck, which is a 6-yarder truck. So the Freightliner is a 10-yarder tag axle, which would allow us to carry more of a load doing main breaks, service line repairs safely throughout the township. So this item was budgeted for the fiscal year of 2026 and will be paid from the appropriations of the water capital outlay vehicle and equipment in the amount not to exceed $127,228.
We need it. The other one's, describe the other one. The 3-yarder that we're replacing.
Charter is 2003. It's got only one gas tank that's working on it. The dump box is rusted out, so we're making do with it. But
Yeah, okay.
the 2027 would be
Yeah.
great. So,
Yeah.
and it will be a diesel Cummins engine with this new one,
All right.
automatic.
Yeah. All right.
Through the chair.
Trustee Martin.
When can we expect delivery upon approval?
Well, they're going to take that chassis out, so we're looking at about 2 months before delivery. So it has to be shipped out.
Any special build out on it?
It's not a special build out, no.
Okay.
No, it's going to be a basic cab white with a stainless steel dump box.
Okay. Good. Okay. I've got a motion by Trustee Martin and supported by Trustee Frazier. Hearing no further discussions, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? This motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Lawrence. We have no reports today. We are now into public comment for non-agenda items. Does anybody from the public wish to comment today? Okay.
Yeah, just a couple things. One is I would like my road closed off for the air show. We shouldn't have to put up with all them people parking on that road. It's been closed in the past. My dogs bark for 3 days. A couple years ago, this guy pulled a damn barbecue out and set it up in my driveway thinking he was going to barbecue in my driveway. It was closed in the past. I don't understand why it can't be closed. There's no real reason. If you got one, I'd like to hear it. I don't know why they can't park over where they're building the Solantis. They used to park there. That's not a crash zone, that's a cash zone. They want money if anybody parks there. Usually when planes crash at an air show, it's around the stands, right inside the runways. We just one a week or so ago. Same thing, it crashed right by the people. Anywhere could be a crash zone, so you can't identify a crash zone. They almost hit the apartments over there.
All right, I will bring this to the police. I have nothing against doing that. I just don't know what the laws are on it.
Law, because a couple years ago, they told me, I said, well, let them park across the street from me. And the answer was, oh, Scott Jones don't want people parking there. Scott Jones don't own that damn service drive, and these mouthy cops down there, all they done was got cocky with me about it. Then when I complained about it, they kind of laughed. So that's why I don't have a lot of respect for old Brutus that was here last week. It's just not right.
They closed the one across the street at the 440?
Well, yeah, they won't let them park over there either.
Okay.
Now, last year they did, but the year before they wouldn't. But they don't have to let them park on our road.
We own that property kind of, sort of now.
Well, it's a county road, so it belongs to the county. It's still open.
All right.
and we've got a big dust problem at the airport too. Larry took care of where they're building Solantas because they put all that dirt and sand down on that service drive because the potholes are a foot deep in there trying to patch the road, but I didn't know contractors could do that. Well, it's created a lot of dust. We're eating dust all the time. They started watering the road down. Normally they do, but not every day. But the airport's got a service road that runs from one side of the airport to the other, and it's dirt. Why the hell don't they pave that thing? They don't water theirs, and they should. I would really like some air quality testing going on while they're doing it, moving all this dirt. The airport's been moving dirt for 7 years. They've been playing with that pile of dirt there. And we got a pile of dirt. I don't know how high it is. It's extremely high. And there's a little 2-foot damn back piece of plastic that's supposed to keep the dust down. What's the shit is that? Well, what's that plastic for when they start construction?
Erosion control.
Well, it ain't working. And Leon seems a little puzzled why I don't care for him. Well, it's because about 3 times out of the last 8 years, Leon, there hasn't been a flag in my precinct. I had to complain to get one. And then this is the size flag, went from a 3x5 to a little dinky flag. That's about the size of your patriotism, I'm thinking.
That's not true.
That is true.
Not true.
Well, you're a liar. It is true.
Hey, we don't do that.
It is true. And I even filed a complaint with the state when you didn't have a flag in there. And they said, well, if there's one out on a pole, that counts. So,
We used to use schools. The primary precincts were schools. I can't dictate what schools put in their buildings.
oh yeah, stop. Because I worked for the damn schools for 28 years, and every time we set up a precinct, we made sure there was a flag there. And if there wasn't, the poll workers would ask for it.
When did you retire?
No matter when I retired. Every school has a flag, Leon. All you got to do is ask for it. But you don't have pride in the flag to even think about it.
And I'm a United States veteran. You don't know what you're talking about.
Fooled me.
So you can,
You
don't,
could-
you
could-
are
I'd have to
completely
see your
wrong.
ID.
I don't want to hear that, okay?
I don't want to hear it either. I never met a veteran who didn't have pride
Well,
in the flag.
because you're incorrect.
Okay, it's getting personal now. That's not
Well,
what we're
it is.
about
That's
here.
right. Because I complained about that flag, and I asked nicely for a 3x5, and what do I get? A little dinky flag. So that's what you think of my request. That's about how much I think of you.
I've taken down the dust control at the airport, the dust control at the construction site, the road closed for the
Right.
air show. I will get back with you on all 3 of those.
Precinct. I see the largest flag I've ever got out of Leon's, one like you got right there. It might be an inch bigger, both directions. And did we buy Scully's house? And how much did we pay for that?
Normally, I'd ask my attorney, but it's on Facebook already because she's telling everybody, so what the heck? Yeah, we bought it. We paid $1,035,000 for it, and we bought it before it went to market.
Yeah. And every time I hear that kind of shit and hear how many grants you're getting, I know I'm paying way too much taxes, which
You
is
pay
blowing my
you have
mind.
the lowest taxes in
Yeah.
southeast Michigan
Yeah,
almost.
Right.
Drive
right.
across the
Ain't gonna
border
be
in
very
any
long.
direction except
You're
for
gonna-
Sumter, and
you're
your,
gonna do
your
to Van
taxes will
Buren
double
what your
or triple.
dad did to Livonia, ruin it.
Can we, I don't have respect for this. Can we,
Okay.
can we move on?
Okay, we can move on now. All right, does anybody from the board want to make any comments? Does anybody else want any public comment here? No? Okay. Oh, sure. Hi.
Curious about, we have Kenworth sales here down the road. I just wondered, did anyone check on,
I didn't even think of that. Go on.
checked on it?
That's a good question. I didn't even think of that.
Recognize a little bit.
I didn't hear what you said.
Just curious, because we got Kenworth right on the service.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't the lowest bid.
Oh, they weren't the lowest bid? Okay, all right. Okay. And we actually do have a 5%, and they were over 5% more? They were, okay. Because we do try and keep the money in town. and it works. All right. Anybody from the board have any comments? No? Call for adjournment. Can
So
I have a
moved.
motion?
So moved.
Trustee Boynton. Trustee Frazier. I have a motion by trustee Boynton, supported by trustee Frazier to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.